report at 6:21 on 1010 Winds.
Winds News Time 6:12. Now the official 1010 Winds AccuWeather 4-day forecast. Here's meteorologist Dean DeVore with this live report.
Well, we've got the temperatures in the upper 60s to low to mid 70s in and around the city here this morning. In LaGuardia at 76 right now. So the warmth is up, and so is the humidity. We'll see that be a problem here as we go through the day. Temperature getting up to a high of 86, then sticky down to 72 tonight. Upper 80s tomorrow with a shower, thunderstorm in a few places in the afternoon. And then I think Friday could be a very volatile day with the potential for some strong to severe weather. Thunderstorms in the afternoon and evening, high getting up to 82, near 80 with more showers and a thunderstorm or two on Saturday. Right now in Midtown, cloudy skies, 72 to 73 degrees, relative humidity at 87%, and the winds are nearly calm. Again, it's 73, and we're going up to a high of 86 later today in Midtown. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Dean DeVore on New York's weather station, 1010 Winds. Winds News Time, 6:13.
Did you know you could earn a transfer discount just by switching your motorcycle policy over to Geico? And if you already insure your car with Geico, you can even get a multi-policy discount. I've always wondered what it's like to ride a motorcycle. To ride my steel horse across the land, fighting crime alongside a tall brunette, Francesca. Sorry, my mind got to a straight face now. Who was I? All the Geico motorcycle discounts. Right.
Call Geico or visit geico.com today to see how much our discounts can save you.
Your first word probably wasn't something like finance, or savings, or ATM. But whatever that first word was, it opened up a world to you that was built on conversations. It's this exchange of ideas that Wells Fargo puts into practice every day, through listening, guiding, and planning. So when the conversation is about ways to grow your savings or your business, we'll be here to help you find the right answers. Because an open dialogue is what opens doors. Wells Fargo. Together we'll go far. Wells Fargo Bank N.A.
1010 Winds Sports in 1 minute. Winds News Time, 6:14.
Every morning to prove how smart he is, Dan does the crossword puzzle. 13-letter word for 500th anniversary. Quincy centering. Nailed it. This morning, however, his wife Katie tops it. She brings an awesome meal. She got off McDonald's dollar menu at breakfast. A sausage burrito made with savory sausage, melted cheese, and fluffy eggs. Premium roast coffee and more. Everything's so good and just $1 each. Who's smart now? 4-letter word for genius. Wife. Nailed it. McDonald's dollar menu at breakfast. The simple joy of being smart. Right.
Hey, Mama.
Hi, bud. How are you?
Good, good.
Did you eat for breakfast today?
I'm about to. I was just going to have some bacon.
Sounds good.
And some eggs.
Well, somebody's getting fancy.
And some delicious griddle cake.
Wait a minute. I know my son. How exactly do you have time today? Welcome to McDonald's. I raised you right.
The simple joy of a wholesome breakfast. For a limited time at McDonald's, get 2 savory sausage McMuffin with egg sandwiches for just $3. Prices and participation may vary. See store for details.
Winds News Time, 6:15. Here's Mark Ernay at the Bob's Discount Furniture Sports Desk.
Well, then, if you ever wanted to know what it feels like to have an Oriole breathing down your neck, just go ask a Yankee. The boys from the Bronx lost their second straight last night in Detroit, where the Tigers beat them 6-5 thanks to another big night for Miguel Cabrera, who connected for a solo homer in the 4th and snapped a 2-2 tie in the 5th inning with a 2-run double off of Bill Hughes.
In the 4th inning, he saw 6 hitters, and I think they made him throw 44 pitches. And that kind of wore him down. So we were hoping he could get through 5, but he wasn't able to get through that bit.
Joe Girardi did see his guys rally from 6-3 down with 2 runs in the top of the ninth off Jose Valverde before Curtis Granderson popped out to first for the final out. Yanks now with an 8-game losing streak in games decided by 1 run. Rumor has it it's the first time that's happened to them since the 1940s. CC Sabathia starts tonight against Anibal Sanchez. Orioles, by the way, outlasted the Mariners 8-7 in 14 innings. They've cut the Yankee lead down to 4.5 in the AL East. Mets, meanwhile, back in Queens, now have 8 consecutive Citi Field losses after falling to the Marlins 4-2. All it took to ruin John Neese's night was a 4-run top of the 4th, capped by John Buck's 2-out, 2-run double.
Yeah, it's frustrating. I made some pretty bad pitches. I hung my curveball on 3 consecutive guys, which really hurt me. That's been my Achilles heel this year. Is giving up, those big innings.
Of course, the only Met runs in support of Nice came in the home 5th, including Daniel Murphy's solo homer. More chaos in Cortland Tuesday at Jets camp. A couple of more fights during what were supposed to be non-contact drills. Rex Ryan called timeout on his guys run gassers or wind sprints before he reportedly took them out for a team movie night. Day 12 of the Summer Olympics. The highlight will be the U.S. men's basketball team playing its quarterfinal matchup with Australia. Sports at 15 and 45 around the clock. Barker Day, 1010 wins sports.
Right now at Mavis Discount Tire, buy 3 name brand tires and get the 4th tire free. Or get $70 back on a set of Michelin tires. Restrictions apply. Need tires? Save money at Mavis Discount Tire.
America's Discount Tire Store.
73 degrees and clear in New York. Humidity 90%. Winds are calm. Look forward to a mix of clouds and sunshine today. More humid with a high of 86 in Midtown. Winds news time 6:18. Twitter has complied with a court order to turn over account information to the NYPD. This comes as police investigate threats against Mike Tyson's show on Broadway.
Iron Mike Tyson seemed rather unfazed as he sauntered into the Longacre Theater for his one-man show. So too are his fans filling the seats, despite a threat on Twitter promising a Batman Massacre copycat.
When you know about it, there's less likelihood of it happening.
The show should still go on. You should never stop living life because of crazy people.
The NYPD beefing up security here after an anonymous tweet saying, quote, "I'm serious. People are going to die like Aurora."
In this day and age, you can't take any chances. Even if it's a joke, they need to be brought to justice. That's ridiculous.
Steve Sandberg, 1010 wins, outside the Longacre Theater on West 48th Street.
The iconic Woolworth building across from City Hall Park getting a new lease on life. One of the city's most recognizable landmarks will have some office space turned into luxury condos. The Neo-Gothic Tower was the world's tallest building when it opened in 1913. Now an investment group signed a $68 million deal to convert the top 30 floors into 40 luxury apartments. Winds News Time 6:19. The Porn Palace, Peep World on 33rd Street across from Penn Station, closed back in March. And now there's word new ladies will take over the location. But they'll be wearing white tank tops and orange short shorts. The space will become a Hooters after the state approved a liquor license. Manhattan's famed H&H Bagels closed up shop following bankruptcy months ago, but its name will live on. At least 3 people appear to be taking steps to lay claim to the H&H label, including founder Helmer Toro. He filed a petition claiming the IRS has harmed H&H's value by not protecting it against claims from others. Toro says 2 men are trying to seize the H&H trademark. Randy Nayrod, a Long Island businessman with a chain of bagel shops, and Harry Abrams, a partner in American Financial Services Group. The IRS is seeking $1.5 million in back taxes. Weather updates every 4 minutes around the clock on New York's weather station, 1010 Winds.
The News Watch never stops. This is 1010 Winds. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good morning, 73 degrees at 6:20 on this Wednesday, August 8th. I'm Lane Pijardi, and here's what's happening. Cops in the Bronx are looking for a slasher. So far, 2 random victims have been sent to the hospital. Our John Montone will have more live from Williamsbridge. A 3-month-old baby is tossed out of the window of a Bronx housing project. In Bushwick, undercover cops shoot an innocent man and his dogs during a drug bust. Joan Rivers turns the tables on Costco, showing up to sell the book they banned from store shelves. 1010 Winds AccuWeather, mix of clouds and sunshine today. More humid with a high of 86. Partly cloudy, sticky tonight, low 72.
This is Mark, and any Yankees come up short against the Tigers. Mets get doubled up by the Marlins. A real gasser up at Jets camp. We'll check on day 12 at the Olympics.
This is Andrew O'Day. America is catching up with its mortgage payments, according to new numbers from TransUnion. The auto business says minivans are becoming popular again.
Winds News Time 6:21. Time for traffic and transit on the one, sponsored by Sleepy's, the mattress professionals. Here's Brian Britton.
Got a ton of brake lights in Brooklyn already this morning. Your eastbound Gowanus getting out of the BQE back from the Prospect into the Brooklyn Bridge, just at a standstill. Now, a lot of this was because of the construction they were wrapping up at the Brooklyn Bridge, which thankfully is now clear. You've got a great ride at the Brooklyn Bridge, as I see that on the jam cam, moving very nicely in either direction. Here's what else you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. We're scanning the Hudson River Crossing jam cam. Inbound Lincoln looks great. Over at the inbound Holland Tunnel, no delay there. The GW Bridge, no more than 5 minutes into the upper level cache lanes. Downstairs, you are free and clear. And the Tappan Zee Bridge looking great this morning, getting into Rockland or getting into Westchester County. Let's take a look in Manhattan. We've got the Harlem River Drive southbound bunching up already. 3rd Avenue Bridge down to the Willis Avenue Bridge. West side of town looks good. No problems on the West Side Highway. Into Queens, LIE already moving slowly. Westbound Casino Boulevard getting leading into Woodhaven Boulevard. Quick check of the Grand Central. That holds together nicely thus far. Alternate side parking rules are in effect citywide. I'm Brian Britton. Our next report at 6:31 on 1010 Wins.
Sleepy's biggest Sealy sale ever is going on now through Sunday. Save up to 70% off Sealy plush mattress sets starting at just $199. Only at Sleepy's.
Wins News Time, 6:22. The NYPD says there's a slasher on the loose in the Bronx. 1010 Wins newsman John Montone has the story from the Williamsbridge section.
This psycho is the silent type. He doesn't say anything. He just cuts up his victims about the face and neck, and then he takes off. Police say he struck Sunday night and Monday afternoon, sending a 60-year-old man and a 65-year-old woman to Jacoby Medical Center. Peter, who works overnight, tells me he feels safe in this area, but will keep his eyes open.
That is done.
Yeah.
So that that's the fighting.
And a spry older woman out for a walk here on Boston Post Road tells me the slasher should meet her hammer. Yes, she's carrying a hammer. John Montone, 1010 Wins, in the Williamsbridge section of the Bronx.
You can see a photo of the suspect at 1010wins.com. Wins News Time, 6:23. A 3-month-old girl is listed in stable condition after she fell from a second-floor window of the Bronx housing project last night. Police are looking into whether she was tossed out by her 9-year-old brother. His neighbor tells CBS 2 she watched as police and other first responders showed up at the scene on 226th Drive.
I think I just finished fire, and all the police were coming over, and they say a 3-month-old baby has been pushed out the window.
The baby's fall was broken by an air conditioning unit. She bounced onto the grass, taken to Jacoby Hospital, and her injuries are said to be not life-threatening. Witnesses say the baby's mother was outside the building, leaving the infant and her 9-year-old alone inside. Police and Children's Services are investigating. Wins News Time, 6:24. New York State Police noticed something about cars headed to Jones Beach. They tend to be overloaded because fees are charged by the carload. So they plan a crackdown beginning this weekend. Tuesday says police will operate a checkpoint on a main road heading to the beach as part of a summertime initiative to improve proper child car seat and seatbelt use. Police agencies launched the education enforcement campaign last month after Park Police noticed that despite improved seatbelt compliance overall, use of seatbelts and child restraints remains lower at state parks near urban areas like Lake Welch and Roosevelt. They're known as Spice, K2, Tiger Shark, and bath salts, and now they're illegal in New York. Governor Cuomo has announced new health department rules that would target so-called designer drugs. Possessing or selling the drugs punishable by fines of up to $500 now, and potentially as much as 15 days in jail. Wins News Time, 6:25. There's another reason to get moving. CDC Director Dr. Thomas Frieden says exercise is the wonder drug to keep adults healthy.
Walking turns out to be the easiest, most accessible, most popular way that Americans get physical activity.
Frieden says exercise is a proven health booster, and walking's a great way to get started, which will help you live longer. 145 million adults now include walking as part of their regular activity. Consumers still spending money on the 4 years after the recession hit.
Consumers are still watching what they spend, saving money, clipping coupons, and trying to stay within budget.
Pam Goodfellow follows consumer spending at Big Inside. She calls it the new normal. Spendthrift days are gone.
I think the last 4 years have given consumers a lot to think about.
Many people do less impulse buying.
Focusing on what we really need rather than what we want, and making targeted purchases and thinking about them beforehand.
Affluent consumers are also more cautious than they used to be.
Correspondent Richard Davies. 73 degrees, clear in New York, humidity 90%, winds are calm. 1010 Winds AccuWeather calling for a mix of clouds and sunshine today, more humid with a high of 86. Partly cloudy, sticky tonight, low 72. Winds News Time, 6:26. Now Money Watch on 1010 Winds. Here's a live report from Andrew O'Day.
It has been nicknamed the Swagger Wagon as a joke, because everyone knows minivans are anything but cool. But how about this? After years of market dominance by SUVs, new auto industry numbers find minivans are making a comeback. Sales up more than 17% in the U.S. through July this year, as function apparently wins out over form. Home sales and home prices are two things economists look at to gauge the health of the housing markets, but they also look at how well we're keeping up with mortgage payments.
and that's looking better. TransUnion says in the spring, 5.49% of U.S. mortgage holders were behind on their payments by 2 months or more. That is the smallest number in more than 3 years.